Well, a fine time had at Stafford Boat Club for a few days. Well, we ended up staying another day, but we're leaving now to start on our next little bit of the journey, and we'll see where we end up next. As we come along now, we're going through, in fact we're going under it, Radford Bridge, and these are incredibly popular moorings, because to the left, just out of sight in the trees, there's a pub, and it's one of these curvery pubs. Now, the last time we went to it, in all honesty, the curvery tasted like lumps of tasteless rubber. It was absolutely shocking. But it was very cheap. So you take your choice, as they say. But we've definitely crossed it off our list, because that was one of the worst. I think that's quite a clever name. Slowly but surely, the canal starts to get a bit wide around here, and we see plenty of bulrushes as well growing, and the character just starts to change, just for probably about a mile, and then we're back to normal canals. But this is a beautiful stretch, this little area, absolutely beautiful. As you can see now, we're starting to get wider. You will also see quite a few boats here now, because of the views and the width, it gets very, very popular. So this should be a nice little view for you shortly. I think just around here I'll leave the camera rolling a little bit, because it is very nice, this, and surprisingly not as busy as I expected. And yet this morning on our travels, it's been absolutely mad how many boats have been around. There's been absolutely loads. But we'll continue through. Who knows, I might be playing a little bit of music soon as well for this. But it is beautiful. If you look there, that is a gatehouse, and look how big it is. And it looks wonderful when it's lit up, that, and it can be hired for holidays. Now that's only the smallest place, that. Apologies for the rain spots, but that's the type of day. But that all, well, that's the gatehouse, but the hall, which was near to it, was loads bigger, and it's gone now. It's been demolished a while ago, but in all the places within Tixall, Mary Queen of Scots was imprisoned there at Tixall Hall, as they say. and that was next to the gatehouse. So you find out little bits and pieces. But she was imprisoned for a fortnight. But it's a bit before my time, so I can't tell you what she was in prison for. But this little stretch here, what we've just done, is really nice. And it's very popular with all the moorers. Now the rain's starting to fly in again, so the usual, I'll have to switch off for now. Well, the rain stopped. Let's keep our fingers crossed. We've missed a lovely section of the canal at Great Haywood Junction and Tixall Wide. We've got a little bit of filming on Tixall Wide, but we'll see what it looks like. And then the Evans opened. But we're actually off the Staffs and Worcester Canal now. We're on the Trent and Mersey. Keep our fingers crossed that the weather's nice, and we'll hopefully get some more nice filming done. So it's fingers crossed. Well, the fella who's just gone up the locks, he said don't bother rushing to the next one, Colwich Lock. He said when he came out there was 12 boats waiting. So let's see if he's been telling the truth when we get there. Well, along here is an extremely scenic moorings, and these are always popular on the Trent and Mersey. It overlooks all the open fields over to Shugborough Hall, which is a museum, and these have always proven to be extremely popular and very difficult to find a decent mooring along here. But we're not staying today, we are carrying on and still keeping our fingers crossed that we keep the dry weather up. As we're going along now, we'll be able to see Shugborough Hall, the museum, and when it's nice weather or there's any special events, apologies for hitting my camera then, but when you get some nice events around here, everybody's dressed up in costume and they just walk around the grounds. It's absolutely massive. The land and the place is massive. Well, this is our last lock today, I'm pretty certain, and it's Colwich Lock with a nice lockside cottage. Now, when we first got our boat, a photograph was taken here with us in the lock coming up, so it's the opposite to what we're doing today, and it was put on something called Flickr, and it was, I think it was one of the most, I think it was the second or third most popular narrowboat picture what people could go and have a look at. And the guy who set it up, there was absolutely thousands of photographs, and then for reasons that we don't know, because it was a great setup, he just dumped it all, and we lost a lot of fabulous photographs of narrowboats. So he just got rid of it all, which was quite sad. But yeah, we do remember people used to comment to us and say that they knew where the photograph was, and they said this was the boat. Anyway, good news, it's getting warmer and it looks like the rain might just be stopping now, so fingers crossed and keep going. Well, we're through Colwich Lock now, and it's a bit of lock-free cruising now for about 3/4 an hour or so before we will be stopping for the evening. Early finish today. We're hoping to find a mooring just before Rugeley. We love our boat, and I must be honest, the shape of it and everything, I don't think I'd swap it. But for years we've also liked this one, what we're coming past in a few seconds. I just like the front and the setup with the recessed panels and that, and I thought it's a lovely looking boat. We've seen that here for years. I think it's had a recent paint job, but it's a nice boat, that. And that's by a company called Stowell, and quite like all the what's happened since the financial crash, that was another good building company what went out of business. Like I say, that's a beauty. Well, I'm just having a pint while we're going along, but I do love narrowboating, but now and then you do get a few plonkers on the canal, absolutely. And we've just come through a bridge there where it's a very popular mooring, and as usual it's on a bend next to the trees to make life as hard as possible for people. But there's a guy there, tied there, his boat swinging out, hitting every boat that goes past, causing absolute bedlam, and he's tied on the middle rope only. Sat inside, boozing away, and it just absolutely annoys the life out of me. A little bit of respect for people, that's what you need. But on the canals you do get some people like that, and there's nothing we can do about it, but to just moor on a middle rope about 10 foot from the bridge on a bend near the trees, what a but I'll put up with it, and I've had my little rant. Bernadette's sat at the front there, or stood at the front at the moment, no doubt having a bite to eat or something, and doing a bit of crocheting. Another thing as well what pops up on these canals, you've got your moorings, but at this farm on the right, tell you, me and my left and rights, on the left, this boat here, what he built, he uses that to sell gas and diesel, and it's very popular. You just moor up alongside and have your requirements, press your horn or something to notify him, then you can get your gas, coal or diesel. Cash only at present, it says as well. But it's a good idea from the farmer. Well, that's a picture of Cannock Chase. Absolutely beautiful. Really nice, that. Now a quick story here, because there's plenty of boats more on these nice moorings here. But a few years ago, and this was a very unusual thing, we saw a policeman on the towpath as we were going to moor up, and he said to us, and I'll word this correctly, he says, if I were you, I wouldn't moor here. And we said to him, why not? It's absolutely gorgeous. He says, no, he said, stay away from it. He said, there's a lot of bonging going on here. He said, a heck of a lot of bonging. Now I thought he said something else, but no, it was bonging with a G. No K involved. and it seems that this area here is where the wacky backy gang come, and he said they get absolutely off their head, and whatever you do, don't moor here. So we didn't, and it was thanks to the police guy telling us all about it. But this isn't the last place where there's wacky backy places. They are situated everywhere on the canals and on the canal towpaths. You just get to know where they are, and this is one of the places. Well, I did say to you before that we was going to aim to stop just before Rugeley, but glorious sunshine has arrived, and our normal moorings, either it's shallow again or it's got silted up because we couldn't moor up anywhere near the side. So we thought we'll carry on regardless, and we'll go through Rugeley this time. Well, today I can only describe it as a mishmash day. We set off from Stafford Boat Club, and it wasn't too bad, the weather, and our intention was to go to Rugeley, or just before. But I also wanted to show a few things as well. Now, unfortunately, on part of this, the heavens opened and it rained like nobody's business. So, an historic junction, what I wanted to tell you about, and a marina, another marina what we went to, I wanted to just show you that. I ended up losing all that because it was pouring me rain, and obviously I couldn't take a chance with all the cameras. So we've come to Rugeley, got there a bit early, and now we're carrying on. Now currently the thinking is, shall we go the plum pudding tonight for a meal and something to drink? So watch this space and see if we do.
And this is the cruise eye view. Yes, Captain. Yeah. I see round the bend before he does.
Well, very soon we'll be coming. Yes, I will switch this on. Yes, I was just going to say we've just put our walkie-talkies on, because very soon we're coming up to what is known as the Narrows, and this is a strictly one-way route, this. So Bernadette goes ahead and makes certain nobody else comes through. Now this used to be a tunnel where we're going to go through, but it had major issues and was collapsing, and eventually all the top of it was taken away, and we've just got the cutting now. Decisions. We bypassed Rugeley, and we did actually come. We decided a nice meal out would be the way forward. So we did actually come to the plum pudding. Now we've not been here for years. We have been previously when it was a English pub, just the English pub type food. But some of our friends have been since and said now that it's changed to an Italian, it's fantastic. So we've moored up at the plum pudding for this evening. A bit noisy the road, but that's the sacrifice you take for going to a decent Italian restaurant. And when we've been and hopefully enjoyed it, I'll let you know what it was like.